Hey y'all, Randall here with Coastal Fishing with Randall. After my last video, I received a lot of questions and comments asking me to recommend fishing line for inshore fishing. Just like with jig heads, there's many manufacturers, many sizes, many styles out there for each kind of application. So I felt the easiest thing for me to do is to share with you what I personally use. It's not the best way, and it's definitely not the only way, but it works well for me, and I've used it for many years with a lot of confidence. I use braided line on my spinning and my bait casting reels, and I do this for several reasons. It's extremely strong, and it's a very small diameter. That small diameter allows me to put much more line on my reel, but it also allows me to cast much further because of the small size. But there are drawbacks to braid. Braid is highly visible, so if you're fishing in clear water and you have fish that spook easy, you're going to have an issue. You might still catch fish, just not as many, because they're going to be very shy of that line. And that's where the leaders come in. And there are different style leaders. There are fluorocarbon leaders and monofilament leaders. And if you're after toothy type fish such as Spanish mackerel, there are steel wire leaders. The two main that I use are fluorocarbon and monofilament. I use fluorocarbon leaders when I am fishing around pilings and oysters. And the reason I do that is, as I mentioned, braid is not very abrasion resistant. So anytime it rubs up against some of the barnacles, things like that, it's going to fray or it's going to cut it. Whereas the fluorocarbon is very abrasion resistant, and why I choose to use that when I'm fishing sheephead or black drum on pilings. But majority of my fishing that I use in the marsh and mainly in Mississippi, because the water's much darker, is I use monofilament leaders. Monofilament leaders, they're a little more visible than fluorocarbon, but they have a little stretch, which I like if I'm catching bull redfish or larger fish. It's more cost effective, much more cost effective. And in the later years, it's one thing that's become important to me, it's a little more forgiving and easy to tie. With my eyesight getting the way it is, I need all the help I can get. Some of you might can relate to that. So the brands that I use, I primarily use Suffolk. And the reason I use Suffolk is the price points where I like it. It's performed well for me over the years and has not failed me. There are many, many great brands out there, and I've used several, but this works for me for many reasons. The Suffolk brand has 8 strands in it, and they're woven 32 times per inch, which you can imagine the strength of that in such a small weave. And for my leader, I use Andy monofilament. Andy also makes fluorocarbon leader, and I use theirs primarily as well. Over the years, there's much more